Tar Heels taking the field.
All right, Dave, North Carolina won the toss, elected to defer. 84 degrees at kickoff, 60% humidity, and very light breezes. Maurice French will accept that opening kickoff, and we are underway. French a yard deep, and he's coming out. Angles at the 10. Gains the 20, and up near the 25 on the return for Maurice French. 25 yards on that return. Time for the Food Line Impact players. We go to Jimmy Morrissey, the center for the Panthers.
Yeah, sophomore center. He calls the shots up there. Started 15 consecutive games up front. He'll help out with Kenny Pickett and so calling out some of these blocking schemes that Pitt's going to have to use in that run game and the pass game. The former Waka, and I can assure you he is on scholarship now at Pitt.
Kenny Pickett, the sophomore from Oakhurst, New Jersey, at the controls. Olesen to his left, now to his right as he directs some traffic. Pickett, quick toss. It'll be a minimal gain, maybe 3 yards to Rafael Araujo-Lopes as we go back to our Food Line Impact players.
Now, we saw Cole Holcomb in that opening piece right there. Holcomb is an outstanding player, led the team in tackles a year ago. He's already leading the team in tackles through 2 games this season. He's going to kind of have to come up big. Also call some of the shots defensively to make sure they get some of this motion and window dressing that Pitt likes to throw at you, get it sorted out.
Second down for the Panthers. 2-1 on the season. 1-0 in conference play with their win last Saturday at home against Georgia Tech, 24-19. Pickett has his man and a first down. George Aston falls forward past the 35-yard line. They got 8. The sticks are going to move for the Panthers.
Good quick throw here by Pickett. Aston flanks the defense. Pickett gets the ball on him right now before North Carolina can react. And a good second down play after not getting much out of first down. They get a second down, first down. 6th
catch of the season for George Aston, the senior from Stevens City, Virginia. Kenny Pickett against Georgia Tech. Those 179 yards, a season high in the early going this year in 2018. First down run for the Panthers, maybe 1 for Quadri Olesen, the senior from Niagara Falls, New York.
And Tom, you can bet it was pounded in North Carolina's head that Olesen and Hall and Davis, all these backs, big backs, are going to be coming downhill. North Carolina shuts the door right here. Excellent job of playing team defense, gap conscious, takes away the Olesen run.
It was a loss at home earlier in the season against Penn State for Pittsburgh, but Olesen performed well in that game. 119 yards rushing in the losing effort for the Panthers. North Carolina has won 5 in a row in this series, all with both teams as members of the ACC, and Pickett is going down back at his own 40-yard line. Tamon Fox is number 12 on the play for the Tar Heels.
Now, Tamon Fox is going to get credit for the sack, but a little bit of a jam right there up the field. Knocked the receiver down. Could have got an illegal chuck downfield right there, but no call. And Tamon Fox is the benefactor. Good pass rush off the edge. They need some pass rush. Tom, playing without Malik Carney today, their outstanding edge rusher. Going to need something from Fox and Cater today.
A loss of 14 on the first sack of the season for Tamon Fox, who had 4 sacks in 2017. 3rd and 16. Pickett's pass hauled in at the 35, but it's going nowhere. Darren Hall made the catch, but he is stopped. Cole Holcomb makes the tackle, a loss of 4.
We're talking about Cole Holcomb. Here he is right here, going to read the screen and jump it right away. Immediately sees it, beats the lineman to the block, and puts Hall on the ground. We talked about Holcomb. He was going to be busy today. Makes a big play on the opening series.
Daz Newsom is the deep man, standing at his own 25-yard line, ready to accept this punt from Kirk Christodoulou. Newsom will watch it sail out of bounds. The North Carolina defense comes up big. Holcomb with the stop. No score in the first. To Kenan Memorial Stadium, home of the Tar Heels since 1927. They'll go razzle-dazzle. Elliott has to find a man in the flat. It's complete. Ratliff Williams up the sideline. He's got first down yardage. Head up to the 43-yard line. 13 yards. First play from scrimmage for the Heels.
Tom, excellent decision by Elliott. He gets pressure through the middle and he finds his check down, which happens to be his best receiver, and Ratliff Williams out to his left side.
And they faked that run play to Antonio Williams.
Wanted to take a deep shot, but pressure didn't allow it, and a good decision by the quarterback to get the ball out.
Tar Heels 0-2 on the season. Their game was postponed last week against Central Florida. Would have been the home opener. This one to Antonio Williams. It's a short gain for the Tar Heels.
Let's take a look at this opening play. Going to try a little gadget. This is something North Carolina's known for. Looking for the deep shot, but didn't get the protection. Excellent job of Elliott to feel the pressure and get the ball out for a positive pickup.
Second and 9 now for North Carolina. Last game they played was September 8th at East Carolina, a loss 41-19. This to Michael Carter. He's looking for midfield. He's got that. He's up near the marker as well. 10 yards on the play. Michael Carter.
Well, he's our Food Lion impact player for today. Michael Carter back from injury, averaged 5.8 yards a carry, and they are really excited to have this kid back because he is the game breaker. Home run hitter, at 8 touchdowns in 2017.
Elliott luffs it down the field, and it falls incomplete. Too far for the group back there.
Now this is excellent coverage by Pitt, trying to pull the safety down, using a little play action fake, get the safety to squat down. He does not. Stays in the middle field, and then Dane Jackson is in perfect position as the corner. Ball might have been outside a little bit too far for Roscoe Johnson to react to, but really good coverage by Pitt in the back end.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for North Carolina. To the ground, right side, Jordan Brown. Junior from Durham, North Carolina, has 6, and back to the Food Lion impact players.
Well, talked about the middle backer for North Carolina. Quentin Wargenis is also one of those guys that makes a lot of plays in the middle. He's got, this is 42nd consecutive game, or 42nd game as a Pitt Panther. Missed all of last year with an injury. He's excited to be back on the field for Pitt.
3rd and 4 from the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. Williams is the running back to the left of Nathan Elliott, the junior from Salina, Texas. Pass is caught. Williams trying to get to that first down marker.
Excellent tackle by Wargenis to keep Williams short of the first down. Yeah, he's going to be marked short, Tom. This is excellent hustle from the middle backer. Wargenis going to run to the outside, gets outflanked initially, but does a good job of wrestling Williams to the ground short of the first down.
Leading tackler on the team, Quentin Wargenis, making the play. North Carolina is going to go on 4th and 1. 4 for 6 in this situation this season for the Tar Heels. Short yardage up the middle. Williams through the line. Williams trying to run it to the end zone, and he is in. Tar Heel touchdown.
Watch the left guard, going to pull around and get in front of Williams. Gets a key block right there. Watch the little sidestep now. Makes Briggs miss right there. And then Williams is off to the races. 96 yards 2 weeks ago against ECU on just 6 carries, but was ejected from the game for a targeting foul on a block. They missed his services in the second half, did North Carolina in that loss. But you see his ability to make some plays. The transfer from Ohio State.
His second TD run of the season, had one against Cal as well. Antonio Williams to the end zone for the Tar Heels. North Carolina strikes first. North Carolina scoring a touchdown for the first time this year on the opening drive. North Carolina takes 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go 70 yards and take the 7-0 lead. Olsen, second level, up near midfield and finally cut down on the North Carolina side of the 50.
Well, this is excellent vision by Olsen. It's just a stretch play, and he looks for a crease and then puts his foot in the ground and finds that crease on the cutback. And a touchdown saving tackle in the back end for North Carolina. But you're talking about 6'1", 225 pounds coming downhill at you. That's a tough guy to handle right there.
It's 28 yards for Quadri Olsen. Leading rusher on this team, averaging over 6 yards per carry. That average going up after the last play. This one incomplete on the pass attempt to Shockey Jacques-Louis.
Well played by North Carolina. That time trying to throw a quick screen to the outside. North Carolina right in position to make the play. Dominic Ross, the linebacker.
Here's our 1st and 10 line, Dave, brought to you by Lending Tree, official loan shopping partner of the ACC. Dave, that last pass, the first incompletion of the game for Kenny Pickett, who was 5 for 5 on the previous drive to open up the game for Pittsburgh. Pickett. And now back-to-back incompletions. That's too high for Taysir Mack, the sophomore.
Well, jam, got a good jam on the outside to KJ Sales. And it might have been the wrong guy to throw to. I think Pickett had the slot throw, decided to try to rip it to the outside, but Sales is in perfect position to take that one away and force 3rd down.
See the call from John Papuchis, 4th-year defensive coordinator for North Carolina. 2nd year as the defensive coordinator and 4th year on the staff. 3rd and long for the Panthers. From the 47 of North Carolina, deep drop from Pickett, dancing around, lunging forward to the 40. Got to be a little bit short of that 1st down line at the 37.
Well, Pickett does an outstanding job of keeping this play alive. North Carolina Tar Heels all around him, makes a couple people miss, and actually pushes this up where you, if you're Pat Narduzzi, will consider going for it here now. Got inside the Carolina 40-yard line. Good job by Kenny Pickett to keep it alive.
Pittsburgh has not converted on a 4th down this season. They are 0 for 3. This is their 4th game of the year. Pickett wants to try to get it done around the left side. He's got a 1st down. Out of bounds near the 30-yard line for Kenny Pickett, the quarterback, and he got 9.
Yeah, just a diamond setup in the backfield. Really, all the backs are in the block. This is a call run for the quarterback all the way. They make it look like zone read, but that's just window dressing. All those backs are in to lead the play. He gets a nice convoy to get him to the edge, and Pickett runs for the 1st down.
So the Panthers right on the edge of that red zone. 1st and 10. Handoff. Olsen inside the 10. And it takes several Carolina blue shirted defenders to bring him down. 13 yards through the middle. Quadri Olsen.
Well, North Carolina gets some penetration, but Olsen at 225 runs through the arm tackle. This is what we talked about in the opening, about his big body and being able to rip through tackles. If you don't hit him straight down the middle, you're going to have a tough time controlling Olsen, and he showed it right there again. Power running right through the middle.
1st and goal for Pittsburgh. Keep in mind they have converted 2 4th and shorts on this drive. Pickett turns at the 5, dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Pickett. What an effort. 7 yards on the run. Kenny Pickett has the TD for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, very similar play. In fact, the same play they ran to get the 1st down on their 2nd 4th down conversion of the day. Pickett's going to get a convoy, and it's Aston. The fullback gets the key block on the outside against Gimmel, the linebacker, and then Pickett dives to the pylon, and Pitt's on the board.
2nd TD run of the season for Kenny Pickett, and what an effort by the sophomore to get to the corner. Kessman's extra point will tie it up. 7-all. So the Panthers respond. And after the Pickett TD, we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Anthony Ratliff-Williams will not come out of the end zone with that one. First and 10 for the 25 for North Carolina. We are tied at 7 here in the first quarter. That's complete. Up the sideline, Daz Newsome. And a first down as we check. Larisha, thank you. 18 yards on the play for Larry Fedora's Tar Heels. 7th year in Chapel Hill for Coach Fedora. Turning is Newsome, trying to spin away from the defenders and finally wrestled down by DeMar Hamlin. He's got 5 yards on his second consecutive grab.
That's a good tackle in the open field by Hamlin. This is a guy, we talked to Larry Fedora. Who would you like to see the ball in open space in his hands? And it's Daz Newsome. Newsome just had to play prior for the big pickup. That time, a good tackle by Hamlin in open space right there. That guy can fly, Ken Newsome.
Don't forget, next week we're going to Raleigh, just up the road. Virginia and NC State. The ACC game of the week on Raycom Sports. Second down. It's a dancing Michael Carter. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage for Carter. No gain on the play.
Excellent penetration up front by Pitt. Kind of blew the play up. Carter had to dance around in his own backfield and was just trying to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Excellent job of winning the line of scrimmage by Pat Narduzzi's defensive front.
Coach Fedora, 26-14 here at Keaton Stadium. Also 5-1 in home openers. That loss came last year in the first game of the year against Cal. Elliott, left side, down the sideline, pulled in. Anthony Ratliff-Williams near the 15, went up and took it away. He's got the catch as he battled with Dane Jackson. 37 yards on the play.
Yeah, big time play by Ratliff-Williams on the outside. This is the #1 receiver. It's a 50-50 ball, and Ratliff-Williams goes up and takes it away from Dane Jackson. That's what you're looking for when you put your guy up to bat.
Elliott to the end zone. It's too far.
That's good coverage on the wheel route. Elijah Zeiss, the linebacker, does a good job of not being deep by the flat. Stayed right in the hip pocket. The tight end.
Jared Walston, Dave, was that intended target.
North Carolina a little banged up at linebacker, so they're having to reach into their depth a little bit to get some tight ends on the field.
Elliott hands it off. Jordan Brown. And inches his way towards the 5-yard line. They have him down at the 6. He got 9 yards on the handoff from Elliott. Dennis Briggs on the stop.
Yeah, Brown had 5 carries, 70 yards a year ago against Pitt. So another guy that's excited to see Pitt in the building. This North Carolina offense has really hadn't been able to hit its stride this year in the 2 games they played. And they had a really good game against Pitt in Pittsburgh a year ago.
Teams met November 9th of last year. A win for North Carolina at Pittsburgh, 34-31. And that ends the first quarter of play from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, with the Heels knocking on the door. We're tied at 7 on Raycom Sports. Our first quarter stats are brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery, celebrating 12 years and over $5.8 billion raised for education. To learn more, visit nclottery.com.
Yeah, North Carolina averaging 10.7 yards per play, and both teams getting it done on first down, which was key for North Carolina.
3rd and 1 for the Tar Heels. Up the middle towards the goal line is Williams. Just short of the goal line, but he does have a first down after 6 yards on the play. Here's our red zone, brought to you by CPI Security, the official security partner of the ACC. This is the first time into the red zone in this game, because the TD run was 37 yards. Over the top and in, Antonio Williams, and he's got his second TD of the game from a yard out, elevating for the touchdown.
Yeah, Antonio Williams running with a lot of purpose. That 3rd down run pushed it inside the 1-yard line, and there was no doubt on this one. Just powers it in the end zone. Looked like Sam the Bam Cunningham from way back in the day.
Third rushing touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, Antonio Williams. Extra point from Freeman Jones. 14-7, Tar Heels.
Antonio Williams puts an exclamation point on the Tar Heel touchdown drive, his 2nd of the day.
Coach Fedora and the North Carolina players helping with the relief effort from the hurricane, and Dave loading up the equipment truck with all those supplies earlier this week. Players also donated their per diem, and for more on that effort by the Tar Heels, it is Gatorade heard around the cooler with Larisha on the sidelines.
And as we just saw, you guys, that relief effort for the team here, the Tar Heels, all initiated from a former player himself, Kevin Reddick. He called the group up and the program responded. As you said, Tom, everybody donated their per diem to the game. 85 scholarship players, actually, and the football team, they also donated their equipment truck, loaded it up with supplies. They had so much, they even had enough for a second truck. And then those trucks are getting ready. They left out early Saturday morning to head to those in need.
Really tremendous effort by those here that wear the Carolina blue.
Salahuddin, stiff arm at the 40. Michael Salahuddin, the freshman, 23 yards.
Yeah, the freshman from Washington, D.C. We're told late in the day that he might get some snaps, and this is something that Pitt does a good job of when they run that jet sweep. A lot of motion, retrace motion. This time, Salahuddin is up the field for a first down. Talking to North Carolina's coaches about trying to defend that. They really had to be disciplined with their play calls and make sure they understand the change of strength and formation.
First carry of the season, Salahuddin down to the 41. This will be Olison. Gets a handful, 4 yards for Olison. Time for Forever First, our first citizens forever first, and the 1976 Heisman Trophy winner from Pittsburgh, Tony Dorsett.
Went for 303 against Notre Dame and 4 consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Tony Dorsett was Dorsett back in those days, wasn't it, Tom?
National champs in 1976. Ran for over 2,000 yards as a senior. Over 1,000 every year in a Pittsburgh uniform for Tony Dorsett. That pass complete inside the 30. Maurice French pulls it in.
Good solid throw by Pickett on the move here. This is the wide side of the field. Sprinting, throwing the out to that side. Good job by French to secure the catch with Sales closing. Pitt really mixing it up right now. Sean Watson, offensive coordinator, had the jet sweep, got that in there. Then they faked the jet sweep and handed it through the middle, and now get the quarterback on the move. So mixing up the play calling for Kenny Pickett.
From the 28 with the clock rolling, 9:45 and counting here in the second quarter. Handoff from Pickett is Olison. Tried to cut it back, didn't get much. 1 or 2 for Olison. Now time to test your knowledge with today's Aflac game trivia. Here's the question. Quadri Olison, one of 6 Pitt running backs to run for 1,000 yards. Who are the other 5? And we already gave you Tony Dorsett and Olison. Can you come up with the rest? That is our Aflac trivia question. We'll have the answer in just a moment.
Maybe one that fools you a little bit in there, but they've had a long lineage of excellent runners at Pitt.
Olison, the 2015 ACC Offensive Rookie of the Year, as he went for 1,100 yards on the ground. That pass by Pickett is off target.
Yeah, pretty good tight coverage that time by North Carolina in the back end. Trey Morrison, the freshman, Greater Atlanta Christian in Norcross, Georgia. Good tight coverage. That's a tight window to throw the ball in. Pickett was not comfortable putting that ball in there, and just an excellent job by the freshman Morrison.
Pickett had started the game 5 for 5, just 2 for his last 8. Panthers pass inside the 15, and French making the grab. What an effort by French to make the catch, and 14 yards.
Tom, what a throw and what a catch. You're exactly right. French working against tight coverage. Again, it's Morrison, the rookie. What a throw. He put it in that tight window, and French paid him off by making a tightly contested catch with Morrison draped all over him.
3 catches and 29 yards in the game for Maurice French, the junior from New Brunswick, New Jersey. French Inside the 5. They'll mark him out at the 2.
Tom, this is the fun part of this offense. Sean Watson going to call on a little bit. They're known for power running, but the deception they have built into it. This is just a version of the jet sweep. Now this will go down as a pass as he tosses it forward to French. French going to come from the wing, just toss it forward. It looks like he's still got the football, but here comes French out the backside. And a good hard run by French to push it inside the 5-yard line.
French, who only had 4 catches coming into the game, already has 4. To the ground and in the end zone. Quadri Olesen from 2 yards out, and he walks it right in for the Panthers.
Stefano Millen, the big left tackle, going to pull out in front of Quadri Olesen. And Pat Narduzzi's team pays it off. Number 70, Millen, going to come around, as is 76, Dentino. Dentino had the block earlier in the game for Olesen. This time 2 good blocks by that left side of the offensive line allows Olesen to go in untouched.
So the Panthers, Dave, have turned that fumble recovery into points and have tied the game.
Boy, an excellent display of play calling by Pitt. And Olesen, the battering ram, shoves it in the end zone for Pitt.
3 touchdown runs on the season right now for Antonio Williams. North Carolina in its 3rd game of the year after last week's home game against Central Florida was postponed. Swing it off to the right of Newsome. Newsome breaks a tackle. First down up near the 40. They'll mark him at the 38 for Newsome at 16 yards. Weaver had to make that stop.
Now, Daz Newsome, this is the guy Larry Fedora said he wanted in his space with the football in his hand. Watch this little miss right there. Made Briggs miss the safety. And that play, because he missed that tackle, Newsome was able to get the first down.
Elliott with perfect placement of that pass. Now hands it off up the middle. Williams breaking away and into Pittsburgh territory. Across midfield at 14 yards. Antonio Williams on the rush for the Tar Heels.
This is a youngster that went to Ohio State, played in 2017, transferred in. He played at North Stanley High School in New London, North Carolina in high school. Had 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons as a high schooler. Boy, is he excited to be back home.
Played 12 games last year for Ohio State prior to the transfer.
With the Carter injury, Tom, who's now back in the game, but Carter was injured the first 2 games of the season. He's kind of their lightning bolt in the run game. Antonio Williams has really been that guy that's picked him up a little bit and helped him kind of maintain the run game with Carter out, and now they've got a 2-headed monster with those 2 guys.
Carter led the team a season ago with 8 rushing touchdowns. Williams has 2 scores on the ground. They'll give it to Carter, wrapped up almost immediately. And a modest gain, 1 or 2. There is some activity post whistle, and a flag is out.
That's a good call defensively for Pitt. They bring Adowu on the blitz off the edge, and he runs right into the play. Number 23 plays off the block, and he makes the tackle.
It's our first penalty marker of the ball game.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Looked like Amir Watts, one of the rotational guys at defensive tackle, got a little extra here at the end of the play.
Riley Johnson is our referee this afternoon. So that's Watts. Spectator for the moment from the 31 of Pittsburgh for North Carolina, 1st and 10. Elliott with the time, delivers over the middle, wide open. Michael Carter. Touchdown, North Carolina.
Talked about Michael Carter and his big playability. They love to have him back, but this is a blown coverage by Pitt. Both linebackers, Adowu and Merginis, take the play fake and run out of the middle of the field, and Carter runs right down through after taking the play fake for a touchdown.
Elliott with the TD pass, his 2nd of the season. North Carolina has taken the lead, and we'll be back after this word from the Atlantic Coast Conference.
For Elliott.
Second catch of the game for Carter. First TD grab of the season. As Dave mentioned, he did not participate in the first 2 games. Returned from French. Flag is out. He's up near the 25. There's Darren Hall, his teammate. Gets his number 22 called in this instance.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be, Olson jogs off the field. Here comes Darren Hall. All Hall did last year was run for 120 yards and 4 touchdowns in this game against North Carolina. He had a heck of a year last year. And he was the guy that Olson was blocking for as they moved Hall to the tail spot, and Olson played that fullback position.
Dave, how about the game we did at Duke for Pittsburgh? Darren Hall, 2 touchdown runs of 79 and 92 yards, the longest in school history for Hall in that win against the Blue Devils.
A capable guy.
Aston forced out at the 35 and into that Carolina bench. Enemy territory for Aston as Morrison forced him out after a 6-yard gain.
Well, when we talk about injury, this is the guy that was hurt. Aston was hurt after the 2nd game of the year last year. He is a multi-faceted guy. You've seen him catch the ball about 4 or 5 times already today. 3 catches for Aston already today. And he's the guy leading when you get those I formation type plays. He's the guy in front leading the blocking.
Had just 5 catches coming into the game, but as Dave mentioned, 3 for Aston through the air from Kenny Pickett, who has a 7-yard TD run that came in the first quarter. The other touchdown for the Panthers in this quarter, a 2-yard TD run from Olson. This is Hall left side. Hall cuts it back in midfield. Darren Hall running for the end zone, and he will score for the Panthers. Dave, 65 yards, and we just mentioned the long TD runs he had against Duke a season ago.
Let's take a look at the edge. Good blocking on the edge, and then Hall is able to make a couple of North Carolina players miss once he got into the secondary, and then the speed. But how about the cutback? Put his foot in the ground, the left foot in the ground, get to the backside, and then step on the accelerator. Darren Hall, how about that 1-2 punch? Olson coming downhill at you, and all of a sudden Hall steps on the accelerator and puts one in the end zone.
Hall has his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season for the Panthers.
Both offenses are playing at a high level, Tom. The offensive lines are controlling the line of scrimmage. Both teams have got their run game going, so much like they've been in the past. Tight ball game between Pitt and North Carolina.
How about 172 yards rushing for the Panthers in the first half? Ratliff Williams, 5 yards deep, will take a knee. 481 combined yards between the teams here in the first half. Brown tries to spin away from a tackle. There will be no gain. Camp and Jackson combining on the stop for Pittsburgh.
Good play. Keyshawn Camp, number 10, going to flash right now in the backfield. He makes the initial hit. And then in Dane Jackson, the corner who was coming on a corner blitz off the edge, is able to finish it off. But Camp, the big fella on the inside.
Keyshawn Camp has a couple of sacks to his credit this season. This will be Brown. Once again, there is no daylight. Sean Odowu did.
Yeah, Odowu, the linebacker, outstanding linebacker, steps in and makes the play. 94 tackles a year ago for Sean Odowu.
Don't forget, next Saturday, Dave, coverage starts at noon with the ACC Blitz. It's Virginia at NC State. They have split the last 2 meetings coming in 2011 and 2012. We're on our way to Raleigh, North Carolina for the Cavs and the Wolfpack. The ACC game of the week here on Raycom Sports. Inside of 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Elliott's pass to Brown. Makes his cut. Up near the 25, but again, it's a short gain. 2 for Brown. Zeiss making the tackle. 4th down for North Carolina.
Now trying to get a convoy outside to lead Brown up the field, where Ginnis kind of forces it wide, and then Zeiss, the linebacker, comes in and finishes him off. That's an excellent job by Pitt team defense to get to the football.
Lent the punt. Arujo Lopes Stutter step at the 40. Escapes a potential tackle and then gets leveled out of bounds. 41 yards on the punt, 10 yards on the return. Araujo Lopes, and the tackle made by Trey Shaw. French puts on the brakes, restarts, and goes out of bounds near the 46-yard line. Best starting field position of the game for the Panthers. They got 2 on first down.
Had some success against North Carolina. Has Pitt with this jet sweep type action. French is going to get the football, but a good job by North Carolina to string it out. Look how the Tar Heels string the play out. There's a lot of blue hats around the football, and they're able to push him out of bounds for a minimal gain. So a lot of running by French, but not a lot of success.
On 2nd and 8 for Pickett. Pass complete. Araujo Lopes. A couple of players go flying out of bounds. Cole Holcomb in on the stop. 5 yards on the play. The Panthers showing off their muscle against the North Carolina Tar Heels most recently. Darren Hall, 65 yards and a running TD against this North Carolina defense.
Opportunity to get off the field, and as you mentioned, Tom, this is Pitt's best starting position. They've kind of been playing from behind most of the game. This is an opportunity now with the game even and a short field opportunity. Have to convert here on 3rd down.
3rd and 3 for Pittsburgh. French, little shovel pass forward, goes out of bounds at the 45, and that should be good enough for the first down for Maurice French as DJ Ford forced him out, but not after 6 yards from French.
Again, very similar type play. In fact, it's the same play that French ran inside the 5 down to get him down close. It's just a little quick pitch to the inside, and then it looks like potentially Pickett's handing the ball off to the remaining back. So a little deception there. They have this power running game. You're trying to lock in on that, and the next thing you know, they're coming out the other side with a little trickery.
Brad Narduzzi so pleased with the team's effort against Georgia Tech. Took a 21-0 halftime lead and hung on for the victory 24-19 last week. Deep ball, Pickett inside the 5. Flag is out. Taysir Mack was down there.
Well, Mack came up with the catch, Tom. This is an unbelievable catch. Ball was a little underthrown.
Defensive pass interference, number 35. That penalty's declined. Results of the play is a catch and a first down.
Takes a big hit, but you see Ross in position, but a good job of tracking the football by Mack. Ball slipped down between his legs. He was able to hold on with Ross raking at the football. That's just tremendous concentration by Taysir Mack. Well, whenever you eat a helmet like that, stand in and eat a shot as a quarterback, you love to have your guy make a play for you on the other end, and Mack did.
42 yards on the catch by Mack. Pickett stumbles down to the 1. Tyler Powell, number 95, making the tackle, the senior for North Carolina.
Going to come with a little pressure off the edge this time to try to take away the run lanes for Pickett.
Dave, the Panthers have taken their final time out of the first half. 21 all. Panthers trying to take their first lead of the ball game. Just 40 seconds to go in our second quarter. Pickett forward. Aston, touchdown Panthers. And they keep up the creativity, and Aston goes in from a yard out on the toss from Pickett.
Boy, really difficult to defend. Keep your eyes honest here. Going to fake the handoff in the interior, and now Aston's out in front, just shoves it forward to the big fullback, and Aston goes in for the touchdown. Boy, he's paid big dividends. That's his 4th catch of the day. Talked about how he was injured a year ago. They talked about how important he was to the team, and they love having him back.
First TD catch of the season for George Aston, the senior, and the extra point from Kessman. It's a 28-21. Let's check in now with Larisha.
Coach, you told me that setting up the running game and also setting up the passing game were big keys for you guys to be victorious. Your evaluation of your offense so far?
You know what? They've done a great job. I mean, you got 28 points at the half. You know, they've mixed it up good. I thought they've changed it up. I'm excited about what the offense does. Defense, we got to play better defense. You know, they do a nice job, but we got to play second half. That's what it's going to come down to.
And what will be your message to your team to keep that momentum going in the second half?
We got to play second half. It's 30 more minutes left. It's critical. We haven't played a great second half yet, but we're going to play one today.
Thank you so much, Coach. As you guys heard, the second half is going to be critical for Pittsburgh. Right now, they are leading 28-21. A physical game here, as you guys are seeing, Katie and Coach.
Defense can find a way to make an adjustment here and get a stop or two.
297 yards of offense for the Panthers, 244 for Carolina. And the opening kick of the second half is through the end zone. Here's our principal financial second half game plan.
Yeah, really simple for Pitt. You heard Pat Narducci talk about it as he left the field with Larisha. Finished the game. They only have 3 points scored in all the second half so far this year. And for North Carolina, 174 yards on the ground to Pitt in the first half. You have got to find a way to stop the run. Larisha talked to Larry Fedora, and Fedora said, hey, we're just getting our eye. We're getting lost a little bit. We're not fitting the gaps. I guarantee you they talked about that at halftime. We've got to fit against the run, get it stopped.
1st and 10 for the Tar Heels to open up the third quarter and trailing 28-21 to Pittsburgh. It's Antonio Williams, who had a couple of TD runs of 37 and 1 yard in the first half for North Carolina. 8 yards on that carry.
You like that third down passing from Nathan Elliott, 6 for 6. Average yards per completion. That's pretty good, right around the 8 number. Doing a good job of mixing it up. They did turn the ball over one time.
Up the middle with Brown. Short of midfield. Stumbles at the 48-yard line. Got 5 yards.
You can see that quickness from Brown and Carter. A little bit different than Williams. Williams a little bit more a power guy, but Brown and Carter in the game, there's that little extra step of acceleration. Good changeup, having those backs rotate in.
3 of 8 on third down for the Tar Heels. Came into the game just 27% in third down situations, and now 2 penalty markers are on the field.
Pitt was going to come with a blitz with Adowu and Jackson the corner. And Adowu got a little too early. Sweet went in and took advantage of it, the left tackle.
Number 8, jumping in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Hendricks is going to get blamed for it, but it was Idowu, number 23, is there. It's going to come off. You'll see 23 flash on your screen right there, and Sweet sees it. He immediately comes off.
Antonio Williams on a much shorter third down situation thanks to the penalty. It is converted. Fresh set of downs for North Carolina after 2 yards from Williams.
A little Bronx cheer here from the Carolina faithful as they go straight ahead with the big back for the first down, as opposed to trying to get the quarterback on the edge as they did the last time. Oh, look at this lineup for Carolina trying to spread Pitt out.
Pass is complete. Newsom. He's out of bounds, short of the line for the first down. He got 9 yards. Needed to get to the 35-yard line.
Now, what the quarterback's looking for in that situation, and what they're looking for from the sideline, is how many players are in the box. Can we run the ball? If it's a 6-man box, they'll run it. If they spread out, then they'll throw the ball to the outside because there's not enough people to defend the perimeter.
First and 10 line brought to you by Lending Tree, official loan shopping partner of the ACC. Elliott freelancing inside the 20, and Newsom pulls it in.
Well, it's a great call, Tom. That's exactly what he does here. Is he's going to step under the pass rush. Little play fake, steps under Weaver right there. And once he gets outside the pocket, he's able to find his dazzling playmaker Newsom on the outside.
15 yards and a first down. North Carolina to the red zone. Elliott again in the air. This is caught. Down close to the goal line. Garrett Walston, and out at the 2.
Now, North Carolina's run this play a couple times with Walston. The first time it was incomplete, but this time they were able to slip the tight end out against the linebacker Virginis, and they pushed it inside the 5.
15 and 19 yards on the last 2 pass plays. Gonna try to run it in. Jordan Brown cuts the corner and takes it in. Brown able to stay upright and score for the Tar Heels. Just an extra point away from tying it.
Well, they get in the end zone here, but I think they get away with a hold. This is the play before where Walston, tight end, catches it, gets it inside the 5. But watch on the corner here if Dane Jackson, number 11, gets held. Trying to get outside. Right there is a hold that the official did not call, and Brown stepped in for the touchdown. Jackson turned around and looked at the official like, what's going on here? No question, a clear holding call, but North Carolina is able to punch it in.
A 1-yard TD run from Jordan Brown. We are all tied up as Carolina is in the end zone at Chapel Hill. North Carolina has tied it up, but the second half, Dave, has not been kind to the Panthers.
No, it is not. You look at the scoring there, it's almost inconceivable. 3 points is all they've scored in the second half in 3 games.
This is French from about the 3, up the middle of the field and dropped near the 20. Carter Finley Stadium is the destination. Quadri Olison.
Boy, North Carolina doing a much better job of sorting out the run game. Strobridge going to be in on the play. Does an outstanding job in the D tackle spot. Number 55 fights through the blocks and is able to get there. Comes down the line. Great pursuit. Got some help as well. You got Ross, Dominic Ross, the linebacker. But North Carolina did a better job fitting against the run. It's exactly what Larry Fedora said they needed to do. And so far, they've made it happen.
Last year's game was a 34-31 win for North Carolina on the road at Pittsburgh. Pickett throws it up near the 35, but it's incomplete. Rafael Araujo-Lopes could not haul it in.
Now North Carolina making it tough on him. This isn't a bad throw by Pickett here. This is a play Araujo-Lopes has to make. Ball goes right through his arms. That was a play he needed his receiver to make. It has not been easy picking so far here in the 2 drives that Pitt's had the football. So another 3rd and long situation. Pitt just 4 of 18 in the second half of games on 3rd down.
Pickett has to retreat and he slips down at the 8. Cole Holcomb bearing down on Pickett, who hits the turf. It's a loss of 13.
You talk about staying after the rush. Holcomb gets blocked initially by Quadri Olison. Right here in the middle. Gonna blitz through. Quadri Olison has him blocked initially, but then he throws him off because Pickett holds on to the football and he's able to get in and get on the sack. Excellent job of being relentless by Cole Holcomb.
Clock rolling, inside of 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter as Crystal Dulo punts from his own end zone at the 38. Catch made by Newsom, and he gets popped out of bounds. North Carolina on 3rd down, 3rd and long. This is a floater caught by Ratliff Williams at the 30. Makes his move and gets the first down. Down inside the 25-yard line, Anthony Ratliff Williams at 21 yards.
Tom, we've seen Elliott with his improvisation, but this is outstanding. He gets outside the pocket and lets it go way before Ratliff Williams ever came out of his break, puts it right on the money.
Beat Damari Mathis to get that first down. Coming around the corner is Antonio Williams with a head of steam. Collision near the 20 with Sean Idowu. Williams slightly shaken up on the play, Dave.
Yeah, Carter bounced back in the game at running back. Looks like Williams is okay along the sideline. But he's run hard today, Tom. It's been a nice changeup for North Carolina with the backs the way they've alternated.
3 rushing touchdowns and a passing TD to Michael Carter for 31 yards to represent the scoring for the Tar Heels. Elliott stands strong to the end zone. It's caught and a touchdown. De'Ami Brown, 19 yards, and the Heels are back in the end zone.
2 freshmen going head-to-head here. Paris Ford is going to be the nickel corner. He gets beat right off the jump, and an excellent job of seeing it by Elliott to get his freshman the football right down the pipe. De'Ami Brown, that's another one of those guys that Larry Fedora was excited about. He talked about Newsom. But De'Ami Brown, the freshman from West Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte.
He's got the first TD catch of his career, and more importantly, North Carolina has taken the 35-28 lead here in the second half.
Little stop and go, Tom. He made it look like hitch. He got forward. Watch him freeze. He stops and then takes off again. He lulls Ford to sleep. We're going to take a look at it right here. What you see, the top of the screen right up here. Watch the corner's reaction when Ford shuts it down. He comes off, runs to the hitch. Corner bites on it. He runs right past him. Good read by Elliott to see that and pump it down the middle to his freshman for the touchdown.
What a quarter for the Tar Heels. The 19-yard touchdown pass from Elliott is second of the game. And a 1-yard run from Jordan Brown earlier in this quarter. And a 35-28 lead with 4:12 to go in the third.
And Tom, what started out as a series that looked like in doubt. Remember the bad snap. They had the short field opportunity inside Pitt's 40-yard line. Got the bad snap, backed them up. They find a way to get themselves in the end zone and take advantage of that small field.
245 passing yards for North Carolina, the most so far this season in their third game of the year for head coach Larry Fedora, and they've got the lead 35-28. Maurice French to accept this kickoff. By the way, French returned the opening kickoff of the season for Pittsburgh against Albany, 91 yards for a touchdown. Lost the football. Taken by North Carolina at the 28-yard line.
The kicker, Freeman Jones, recovered it, Tom.
It is Jones. He's got it back for the Tar Heels.
I didn't get the number on the Pitt player that had a chance to recover it, but he tried to scoop and score. Official's going to discuss this as a flag. There's a flag down on the field. This is in that area of an illegal block, so...
Looked like Trey Shaw, Dave, made the initial contact to jar the football loose, and then Freeman Jones all smiles with the present right in the breadbasket.
Yeah, ball bounced up right.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by North Carolina. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, North Carolina number 53. 15-yard penalty, North Carolina ball, first down.
So that moves the football back to about the 43 of Pittsburgh. First and 10, North Carolina.
The Pitt player that had a chance to scoop or at least fall on the ball was Trey Tipton, the wide receiver who was in on that kick return team and just didn't fall on the ball. Freeman Jones, John in the spot for North Carolina.
Brown dragged down at about the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the play. Rashad Weaver with the tackle of Jordan Brown, who has scored in this quarter on a 1-yard TD run.
And what a move by Brown in the backfield. Zeiss, the linebacker, was clean and he made him miss.
Second and short, North Carolina. Brown dropped.
Didn't make him miss that time.
Ooh, Adowu, loss of 2.
He made Zeiss miss on the first down play, but Adowu was coming off that left side, that Panther left side from his linebacker spot. He blitzes right into the play, puts Brown on the ground, forces third down.
Adowu last season, all ACC selection, second team making the stop with Jordan Brown.
Big play here for Pitt to try to get a stop here.
5 of 10 on third down in the game for North Carolina. Way above their percentage coming in, just 27% prior to the game on third down. They might get another one. This is Thomas Jackson. He's got it and more inside the 25. Dave, that's 14 yards. Hands on hips for the Pittsburgh head coach.
Great block by Walston, number 84. He lets the blitzer go, picks out the next guy to block, and it's the middle linebacker, Virginis, the linebacker, gets blocked there by Walston. Excellent job by the tight end to sort it out and get the block, the key block.
Elliott has now used 8 different receivers. Second catch for Jackson, looking for the end zone, and it's too far for Anthony Ratliff Williams. Dane Jackson step for step.
Those two had a battle on a 50-50 ball earlier in the game where Ratliff Williams came down with it. Elliott trying to tee him up again down near the goal line.
Anthony Ratliff Williams, 4 catches for 84 yards in this game.
Walston's been a weapon down here close. They'll run it.
Williams submarines forward to the 20.
Well, that time Pitt was coming with pressure. They were bringing all their backers on a blitz. They stunted in the hole. Really no place for Williams to go, but give him some credit for keeping the legs churning. And shoots it upfield to get inside the red zone.
Here's our red zone, brought to you by CPI Security, official security partner of the ACC. 2 for 2 for Carolina in the red zone with a couple of touchdowns.
Corner blitz.
Elliott, end zone. Incomplete. Catch was made, but out of bounds. Incomplete.
Looked like Antoine Green is the guy that goes up and tries to make the play here. Just couldn't quite get that foot down as he's twisting to make the catch.
Just 1 catch on the season, Dave, coming in for Antoine Green. Did make the grab, but out of bounds. Here's Freeman Jones now. Five for 5 on the season. He's made it 6 for 6. And now 7 in a row going back to last year for Freeman Jones, who made 4 field goals in the loss at East Carolina a couple of weeks ago. 38. 28 and with 1:36 to go. And now the lead is 10 for North Carolina with 17 points in the quarter. Pittsburgh yet to score. Through the end zone. This is Hall right side. Bounced out of bounds, and we're going onto the sidelines in Larisha.
Well, before the defense went out there, we heard defensive coordinator John Papuchis tell his players to keep playing. He said, that's it. What you're doing is what you're doing. You must finish and you must keep playing. He said, keep pounding. And he emphasized that stopping the run was very, very important for them this go-round.
Well, you're right, Larisha. And what John did is he was able to relay to his team exactly what they were doing wrong, because you heard Larry Fedora talking to you and to all of us about how they were not fitting properly against the run. That means each guy's got a gap. They've taken care of that so far in the second half.
Pickett's pass right back to him as it got batted down. Trey Morrison knocked it down right back to Pickett.
Tom, this is a kid that John Papuchis, the defensive coordinator, raved about. The freshman from Atlanta, Greater Atlanta Christian. He's going to come off the edge on a blitz from the slot. He elevates in the air because Kenny Pickett trying to throw it behind him, and he bats the ball down. Pickett catches it, ill-advised, catches the ball to lose yardage, but excellent play by the freshman.
There was a 12-yard loss on the play, and we are headed to the 4th quarter. What a third for the Tar Heels. They've got the 10-point lead, 38-28 on Raycom Sports. Ready to start the 4th quarter on Raycom Sports. 10-point lead for North Carolina. Pittsburgh has the football. Pickett stepping up. Pickett to the 20. Tries to cut it back near the 25, but can't get there.
You know, Tom, that's an excellent job by North Carolina to plaster coverage. By that, I mean, if you've got a guy downfield, if you're North Carolina, it's long yardage. Pickett's going to break contain right here. North Carolina could have come off coverage to come up and make a play on the quarterback, but everybody in the back end stayed on coverage and allowed their defensive front linebackers to pursue and make the play. Excellent job by North Carolina. Plaster coverage, give Pickett no place to throw the ball.
So now on 4th and 11, Kirk Christodoulou will punt to Daz Newsome. Newsome, fair catch indicated and made successfully at the 43-yard line. A punt at 33 yards from Kirk Christodoulou, and a penalty marker is also out. Well, we sort that out, show you the third quarter stats, and Dave, brought to you by Excedrin.
Well, we talked about how much offense there was in the first half. Look at Pitt's number, -9 yards on third down. That's just, you can't get any first downs, you can't stay on the field. And of course, North Carolina has continued their average yards per play at 7.2 yards. That's excellent. No penalties. 5 penalties for Pitt right now, 45 yards. That's hidden yards that you can't get back. In fact, there was a huge penalty in that last drive that took away a big run by French.
So they tacked on the penalty yardage against North Carolina, their first infraction of the afternoon. And that sets the ball back at their own 33-yard line.
Well, Pitt can ill afford to allow Carolina to eat clock and put points on the board here. They got to find a way to get a stop.
Up the middle with Carter. Should be a first down.
Kind of a taste of their own medicine. This is something that Pitt does with that jet sweep fake and then hand it straight ahead. Carter found some running room.
Not a lot there for Carter on this particular run on first down.
Now, North Carolina's done a nice job of mixing run and pass. They've got to stay aggressive. That Narducci's team needs to find a way to get a stop here, get the football back to their offense.
Larry Fedora's team, quick turnaround. They've got to play Thursday at number 21 Miami. This pass is incomplete at the boundary. Looking for Brown.
Nathan Elliott's done a nice job for the most part taking care of the ball. He's put it in harm's way a couple of times. Made an ill-advised throw right before the end of the half that didn't result in an interception. But the completion percentage is solid. He's done a good job of reading coverage. He's made some big throws down the field. And a couple of good throws in the end zone as well.
He is our Dickey's hardest working player this afternoon. Elliott to Ratliff Williams, the usually capable hands of number 17 in Carolina blue, but that one eludes his grasp.
Boy, excellent throw from Nathan Elliott. They're coming with the blitz. He stands in there and just shoots it right on the money. And as you said, Ratliff Williams, boy, that's the guy he wants to throw to. He's a little stunned himself. You see it on his face. He'll see that from the junior.
Arujo Lopes is the deep man. Hunter Lent to punt for North Carolina. Last two meetings between the teams decided by a total, Dave, of 4 points. Last year, a 3-point win in Pittsburgh for North Carolina. At the 9, Arujo Lopes fields it and goes out of bounds. Here's a look at our Toyota game summary. For summaries of other ACC games, go to the Toyota Game Center on the ACC.com.
I think both quarterbacks have played well. Obviously, Elliott's numbers outstanding. Pickett's added a touchdown run as well as a touchdown passing for Pitt. Both quarterbacks played pretty well, and Williams has really picked up the slack for North Carolina running the football.
Pickett wants to throw. Near sideline, twisting receiver. Arujo Lopes, well defended.
Boy, being covered again by the freshman, Trey Morrison. He's had a day now, number 27, the nickelback.
Let's check in with Larisha. Injury update.
We saw Jason Strobridge go down earlier in the game. Well, now he's back in, and he seems to be good to go.
Well, Strobridge is one of those heart and soul guys, Larisha, up front. And they love having him on the field. Missing Crawford, Aaron Crawford up front. They needed to have one of their heart and soul guys, and Strobridge is one of those guys.
Pickett again to throw. Same part of the field. Diving attempt at the 45-yard line. Taysir Mack.
Well, this is a beautiful throw by Pickett because he's going to eat a helmet to let it go now. He's going to put up Mack on the deep shot. But watch Pickett stand in, take the shot. And this ball is right on the money. Excellent job of making a contested catch. When you talk about the quarterback, you got to stand in and take some shots to make some plays down the field. And Pickett's been willing to do that all day long. And that's Tamon Fox coming in. He's been around the quarterback most of the day. Got a sack on the day. It's good job by Pickett to stand in there and let it go.
One of 3 sacks on the afternoon for North Carolina, but that play will stand. 34 yards on the connection. Pickett back to the air. He's got a man near the 35-yard line. Shockey Jacques Louis for 9 yards.
Another freshman. Something that Pitt's done a good job of is going down into Florida. And Jacques Louis, Fort Myers, Florida, Dunbar High School. He's an early enrollee for them. They're excited about his future.
Panthers gaining some traction on offense. Couple of completions in a row. Now looking for the home run of the end zone. It's too far. For the intended receiver, Mack, KJ Sales, providing coverage for North Carolina.
That's a good read. KJ Sales gets beat on the fade route. And it's Mack again, inside fade. Sales can't stay with him. And just a little bit more trajectory, a little bit more air on the ball, and Pickett would have had a touchdown right there.
Keep in mind, Dave, the Panthers have not scored points of any kind in the fourth quarter all season long. Just their 4th game of the year after beating Georgia Tech last Saturday 24-19. Lost to Penn State, but a win against Albany to open up the season for the Panthers. 2 of 6 in the second half on 3rd down. Olesen, first down, Pittsburgh.
We're back to the bread and butter. The big fella Olesen finds a little room off that left side and skates for a first down.
9 yards on the run by Olesen. The AP Top 25 brought to you by Progressive Insurance, but Boston College, Dave, with a loss today for the Eagles. 30-13 for Boston College as they lost on the road at Purdue.
First time they've been ranked since 08. Did not handle that very well, and Purdue gets the win.
Pickett has to step up. Pickett's got some room. And Pickett's charge slides down inside the 15.
Wow, he went Civil War on me, huh? Nice call. I guess it fitting. It was, it was in Pennsylvania, right?
11 yards on the run. Didn't work out so well for Pickett, though, in Gettysburg. Here in Chapel Hill, that pass play does not work out all that well for Pickett either. Looking for Butler Jenkins.
Yeah, I think Pickett expected Butler Jenkins to retrace his steps, come down inside and then go back to the outside, and that's not what he did. He was coming in all the way. I think that, Pitt's moved the football well here, but they're down here deep now. Can't waste a lot of time if somebody's tackled in bounds. Got to be a little bit more sense of urgency. Down 2 scores here.
Panthers 3 for 3 in the red zone with 3 touchdowns this afternoon. 2nd and 10 to that front corner. Adjusting to the football, and Maurice French, it is incomplete. The official right on top of the play.
When he's called it incomplete, French is arguing with the play. Pat Narduzzi can't believe it either. Called it incomplete. Let's take a look at the back end of the play. French on an underthrown pass. Be a better look right here. He certainly juggled it initially.
Looks like he still has it, Dave, as he rolls around. It was.
After reviewing the play, the receiver had possession of the football in the end zone. Touchdown.
That's good. That's what replay score is, to get it right. French did a good job of kind of battling Sales on an underthrown ball here. Was able to squeeze it for the touchdown.
You can certainly understand why the official would signal incomplete.
Well, certainly Sales, it looked like he got it loose a little bit,
did.
but he never got it out of there.
That right forearm stayed under the ball, Dave, and he pinned it against that hip as well.
Yeah, I think referee Tom Wormy got that one right.
Well, the adjustment of the ball by French as well was outstanding. And Pittsburgh, nothing was going right in the second half for the Panthers, but what a drive. 38-35, Maurice French, I want the TD, and it is granted. And we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. It is now 38-35 thanks to the 16-yard touchdown reception. First of the season for Maurice French. It is our Bass Pro Shops catch of the game.
Well, good job by getting this right, because this is a huge play in the game, and now one-score game with Pitt having the ability, if they want to kick it off.
Flag came out of the kickoff.
Oh, kicked it out of bounds. Huge mistake.
Antonio Williams.
And a good decision by Pat Narduzzi not to use one here. He has two. So he'll hit the clock run. Let's see if Nathan Elliott now, he's played enough football where his job is to eat clock. And the coaching staff, a lot of these calls come from the sideline now. The coaches can help them eat clock by waiting to get the call in.
Last year, the teams played in early November. That was a Thursday night, Dave, in Pittsburgh, and a 34-31 win for North Carolina. The previous year, 2016, last meeting here, 37-36 in a win for North Carolina. They've never lost to Pittsburgh as ACC foes. Elliott leaping for the 40-yard line, just shy of it in 3 yards.
And Pat Narduzzi burns his second timeout of the half.
All right, Ratliff Williams ready to accept the direct snap. 3rd and 5. Ratliff Williams cuts it at the 40, up to midfield, and a first down for North Carolina.
Boy, Weaver had done a great job all game long of containing the edge. And he does a poor job this time. Ratliff Williams is going to fake the handoff. Look at the edge player crash. That's Weaver 17. He allows Ratliff Williams to flank him, and with the great speed gets the first down. And that's really all North Carolina was looking for, was trying to extend the drive and now to eat clock. Pitt with only one timeout left. Now going to be a tall order for them to try to get the ball back.
12 yards on the run by Ratliff Williams, as you saw, had to go to that North Carolina sideline for further evaluation at the end of that play. North Carolina trying to work that clock on the Pittsburgh side of the 50.
Now give offensive coordinator Chris Kapilovic a lot of credit to use his weapons. He got a good performance from his offensive line today. They had struggled against East Carolina 2 weeks ago. They played much better today against Pittsburgh.
And now we'll keep an eye on that clock. North Carolina can work it way down. This is Williams. Oh, he's got a first down on the outside, and Williams did not stay in bounds. The 32-yard line as Hamlin forced him out. But it's been North Carolina in the second half, Dave, outscoring Pittsburgh 17-7.
You can go ahead and call it ball game now, because North Carolina now going to get a chance to kneel down on the ball. And Coach Fedora talked about rebooting the system. We've really struggled here in this state with the storm and trying to help all our people of North Carolina, and you can continue to do that as some of the numbers we put up for you to continue to contribute to those that are struggling in the Eastern Carolinas. But this North Carolina team rebooted the system, and they played extremely well today, and they get a win in conference, and even more importantly, get a win in their own division against the team that had come in and won in the division last week against Georgia Tech.
And now North Carolina will improve to 6-0 at home against the Pittsburgh Panthers, and 6-0 overall against the Panthers as members of the Atlantic Coast Conference. 6 wins in a row. And that expression from Coach Narduzzi will tell you what went down this afternoon. We expected a close game. It's exactly what we got. It appears that 3 points will be the difference. So once again, the last 7 meetings decided by an average of 4 points. And that should do it, Dave. North Carolina, Larry Fedora will allow himself a small smile.
Well, his quarterback played well, Elliott, today. He talked about, hey, he's got to play. He doesn't need to overthink things, just turn it loose. And he got that from his quarterback today.
6 wins in a row for the Tar Heels against the Panthers as Pittsburgh comes up short once again, 38-35. What a performance by both teams, but in the end, North Carolina has its first win of the season. For highlights and must-see moments from this game and others, check out theACC.com. Join us for the ACC Blitz, powered by the all-new 2019 Ram 1500, next Saturday, noon Eastern, followed by Virginia at NC State. You've been watching coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. It's the Heels over the Panthers.